Hey guys, welcome back. We have quite a week of astrology going on today to kick off our first week in this new astrological year that we are in right now. We had our new moon in Aries on Friday. The clocks reset. We are starting a new cycle, and you guys, it is coming in this week hot and heavy. We have Mars, Saturn in exact conjunction to start our week this week. We also are coming in today, you guys, with the moon forming an exact square to this aspect and aligning with the north and the south node, who have also moved into exact square with this aspect. Big time astrology this week, you guys. Things could definitely be a little heated. Things could definitely be tense. Things could definitely be difficult. There may be some power struggles or some clashes of will going on for sure, but at the end of the day, this energy is telling us it is moving us in the right direction and things are actually coming together. So let's jump into the report and talk about everything that we have coming at us today for our day one of Mars in conjunction with Saturn. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, April 4th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. Very significant day, very critical aspects that we have going on. And there's some numerology to talk about today too, you guys, outside of the aspects themselves. Some very interesting things going on. And I'm definitely reading this day, this energy, as a moment in time that is really moving us forward in a better direction, but at the same time may really be bringing some things to a head that are helping us to move away from the past and move towards the future. Dynamic change, again, being represented in the numerology today, the aspects as well. Let's talk about all that is playing out in the energy today. First of all, we have, Mars moving to 23 degrees of Aquarius today. That is putting Mars into an exact conjunction with Saturn. Now, we also recently had on Sunday, I believe, the nodes of the moon move to 23 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, these are all fixed signs, you guys, which means they're all in a 90-degree angle to each other. 90-degree angles in astrology are known as squares. Squares create conflict. They bring tension. They, it can create sort of like an inner struggle or an inner conflict or just this building tension, but it's for the purpose of helping us to break through into something, okay? So breaking through into something, alleviating some type of pressure through the conflict that arises, a foundation of the energy today, because we are dealing with this T-square of planets, which means we have an opposition, and both of the oppositional planets are making an exact square. And these are the north and the south nodes of the moon, representing destiny and karma, the future and the past, where we're going, what we're growing into, the next phase of our growth and evolution, the next lesson plan being cosmically presented before us, and what we need to let go of, what we need to release, what we need to move on from, what we need to ascend out of, graduate from in order to go in this new direction and learn these new lessons, go through this new phase of growth. So right off the bat, the energy today is bringing up some type of conflict in moving away from something and moving towards something else. This is also having to do with some type of karmic cycle or karmic tie or karmic lesson that we are shifting out of, or that we are moving away from, or that we are breaking through with this square into some fated, destined path that our soul has aligned with and wants to go follow along in order to achieve some type of growth, some type of evolution. Okay, and now we are talking about Mars and Saturn, both of the great malefics, according to ancient astrology, coming into a conjunction together in the sign of Aquarius. When I was doing my intro, I was like, this could be some hot and heavy energy, and that is literally a, very traditional description of these two planets in a conjunction. Mars is the fire planet, ruling heat and passion and willpower and motivation and courage and strength, and what lights a fire inside of us, what we're passionate about, to have us take some type of action. It rules our energy. And Saturn, this is the planet that weighs things down. It limits, it restricts, it obstructs, it contains, it controls, it it really wants ultimately to refine things into their best and their highest version and potential. And it really wants things to go slow and to be practical and to pay attention to detail and to be very self-regulating and self-controlled. And when we have these two energies, these two planets coming together, this can definitely create some type of like pressure cooker energy. Again, this fire energy that really sort of has a lid on it. It's like we can't express our anger, or we can't express the passions or what is lighting us up inside for one reason or another. And like it's like we're experiencing these blocks or these obstructions or these restrictions to the actions, Mars, that we're trying to take right now, or to what we're trying to get done or put our energy into or pursue in this moment of time as well. And it can also represent, Mars and Saturn coming together, both of these ancient great malefics, in traditional astrology. This can definitely be indicating some type of major conflicts or explosions or battles, wars, stuff like that. It's sort of a more unpredictable energy, and it is definitely traditionally, generally indicating some type of just conflict, tension, clashes of wills, power struggles, like clashes of power, all of that type of stuff, definitely gaining a forefront, definitely gaining prominence in this energy. And we're talking about these two planets being in the sign of Aquarius. This is the energy that is coming in right now. This is the energy that we are vibrationally and energetically transitioning into at the moment. This is all about having the freedom to align with our authentic truth and to tap that authentic potential within us in order to be able to cultivate something that we can serve to the greater good of humanity. Aquarius energy, at the end of the day, it is all about finding the unique individual spark of life that we have within us, that only we were given, that only like the gifts and the talents that we alone were blessed with, and really cultivating those and nurturing them and developing them to their true potential so that we can give back to the greater whole, to the greater good of humanity, so that we can serve the whole Aquarius with that piece, that one piece of the puzzle that only we contain within us, that unique, authentic, original spark of life. That is, how the Aquarian energy is meant and made to operate a lot of times. Aquarius has this reputation of being like the rebel, or being like just this eccentric, sort of like more bizarre, like individualized energy. But it's really because, people with a lot of Aquarius in their chart are seeking to find what makes them unique and what makes them special. And the higher octave, or the full development of this energy, is finding that and then figuring out how that specific seed of unique potential, within each and every one of us can be utilized to benefit the greater whole. And then, as a consequence of that, we receive some type of abundance back as a reflection of what we're contributing from our own authentic potential, our own little piece of Aquarius inspiration or unique originality within us. And so that is really what the Aquarian energy wants us to do, is to find our authentic truth, develop it in a way that it can serve the greater good, and then that we can, receive some type of a fulfillment or abundance in exchange for that. And with these two planets in the sign of Aquarius, we may be feeling very restricted, held down, held back, limited, like somebody is just pouring cold water on our fire, sort of, in terms of what we are trying to pursue right now, what we are trying to cultivate, who we are trying to become, what we are trying to create, what we're feeling passionate about and inspired about. And these feelings, whatever is building, whatever conflict is rising, actually, because of the nature of the chart and the way this is setting up, as we begin this Aries cycle, this new moon and Aries cycle, remember, which is ruled by Mars. So this is an even stronger influence because of the fact that we are in an Aries cycle right now, ruled by the planet Mars. Mars is in the conjunction with Saturn. And also, it can't really be understated, you guys, that we have the nodes moving into exact square for this exact alignment of Mars and Saturn. So whatever we're struggling against right now, whatever obstacles we're facing, it is working on some level to help us break out of some type of cycle or leave something that is no longer serving us in the past, helping us to actually liberate ourselves somehow to move down a new path that is going to bring us this growth that we need at this point in time to recalibrate our frequency in such a way that universe is calling for in this moment, so that we can really make this transition of ages, this shift of ages, this transition into the age of Aquarius happen. And that only happens by humanity, one by one, waking up to the truth of their own Aquarian nature, of that own unique gift, talent, blessing, potential, cultivating that, developing that, and then figuring out how we can serve it to the greater whole. And through this process, we are also universe is also calling and trying to assist us and help us to build some stable foundations for ourselves going forward in the midst of what might be a rather difficult year in terms of the external matrix around us, and some big time shifts and changes that might be going on within that as well. And so it's sort of like we are starting this week. It is this big bang of energy, even though there is a lid on it to some extent. We may feel like we're sort of boiling over and, we're having to contain it. Self-discipline is a major lesson that this energy is bringing us. Also, an ability to sort of not be controlled by the fire within us in such a way that it causes us to act out in a way that can be detrimental to our own progress. Lessons that we are learning in this energy. Saturn is actually trying to bring us some wisdom in terms of how we're acting, how we're using our energy, and these things that we're creating, these things that we're pursuing. We are being asked to really make some plans, make some strategies, and be very careful just sort of charging ahead with things right now, or being overly impulsive, or acting on a moment, or acting on an emotion or a passion, because in this energy, those things are likely not to work in our favor. What is likely to work in our favor right now, you guys, is a commitment to dedication, hard work, resilience, perseverance, overcoming in the face of obstacles. And when we are dealing with this emotional energy, with this anger perhaps that we don't have an outlet to express, especially with the sun being in Aries right now and us being in our Aries cycle ruled by Mars, while Mars is in the square, and just generally this desire to get up and go and move ahead, we need to channel that energy into our work. Because the flip side of this energy, you guys, is this is legacy building energy. This is master builder energy. This is an ability to create true works of absolute perfection, and masterpieces can be created in this energy, whether we're talking about something, a physical, tangible piece of art, or whether we're just talking about some type of plan or strategy or situation, goal, blueprint that we're setting up right now to conduct or to sort of discipline our action moving forward. Saturn rules discipline, self-discipline, and we're being asked to be very self-disciplined in our action in this energy, because it's just anywhere where we're trying to rush ahead right now is likely to meet some resistance. This is also, you guys, this Mars-Saturn energy bringing majorly to a head, whether it's in a professional world, within your career, or on a world stage, with Saturn ruling authority, establishment, bosses, reputation as well. Also government, long-standing orders of power that have been around for a very long time, and Mars ruling this revolutionary spirit, the youthful warrior in the sign of Aquarius. There could definitely be some clashes of power again going on between a more longer established order of things, the long-held rules, the long-held people in charge, and a new wave, a new order that is trying to come online with a much more revolutionary spirit, a much more future-oriented perspective and vision of things that is equally as powerful, but it's a much more youthful energy. Again, this is more like the youthful warrior up against the old general that we are sort of pitting up against each other, coming into alignment. And again, it's crazy, you guys, that this is an exact square to the north and the south nodes of the moon. And not only that, we also have the moon in Taurus today will, of course, be aligning exactly with the north node. So we have this T-square going on, north node future, south node past, Mars and Saturn, things from the past and where we're trying to go in the future, really like all the way around today. I mean, because Saturn also rules the past and karma, and this is happening in Aquarius, the sign that rules the future. And so like all the way around in the chart today, in terms of this specific aspect, which really is the highlight of the day, today and tomorrow, especially today though, with the moon there's just so much talking about the past and the future pitted up against each other, wanting to move forward, wanting to make progress, being inspired to act, but feeling restricted, feeling held back, feeling limited, feeling like there is some type of very powerful force that is like standing in our way, blocking our progress, restricting us from going in whatever direction. And it's like we can't even really truly respond to it in the way that we want to. And again, if you're facing something like that, if you're dealing with something like that, do not let those emotions just sort of like seethe within you, because that is destructive to your own physical health in this energy. What needs to be done is the energy needs to be channeled somehow into some type of constructive work, either just some type of hobby or something that is, it would be preferable if it's something that can truly like benefit you in some way, or that you're passionate about, or that, finding a way around the struggle through channeling the work into something else. Even exercising can be a good way to sort of dissipate this frustration or irritation, or like this repressed, like boiling over energy, this pressure cooker energy, because it could be very prominent today in the energy. And definitely, you guys, just a good way to handle it is to channel it into something that we're putting our energy into, some type of very focused work, because you really can create something very powerfully significant, long-lasting, enduring masterpiece creation energy that we have going on with this as well. It's also, very interesting because the degree where these two planets are lining up, 23 degrees of Aquarius. The Sabian symbol of that degree is a big bear sitting down, waving all of its paws. And again, I feel like this is definitely probably going to be bringing some things to a head, definitely talking about some more aggressive defensive behavior going on. And we are talking about these two planets that represent power. Mars is the power of the will, Saturn control, long-standing and established orders of things generally. Even though we don't have Pluto, the main planet ruling power in the game today, we're talking about Mars and Saturn, and those on their own, especially at this degree. A big bear sitting down, waving all of its paws, could definitely be talking about some type of conflict, some type of aggressive or just confrontational behavior going on, and like defending something, not wanting to let go. Two sides being very assertive and very adamant in their need to accomplish their desired goal. But, again, we'll see how this goes. It's all about, though, at the end of the day, with this north-south node in effect, the moon lining up with the north node, it is all about trying to teach us to tap into our own inner resources, to be able to persevere through difficulty, to utilize what we have inside of us in order to pave this new path ahead, while simultaneously being able to release ourselves, let go, and move on from any type of toxic attachments from or to the past that have been keeping us out of our power, or diminishing, the state of our will, or the state of our passion, or what we are inspired to become, or to build, or to be, or to align with at this point in time. The moon in Taurus. We also have Venus, ruler of Taurus, today at 29 degrees of Aquarius. Venus is about to move out of Aquarius. That Sabian symbol is a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. Again, this is talking about we are in a process of transformation right now, and whatever is going on, whatever is transpiring, is ultimately for the purpose of our own growth, so that we can align with these new frequencies that are coming in, and really be able to, in this 222 year, be able to attract and magnetize to ourselves the gifts, the blessings, the divine alignments, the abundance, and the opportunities that universe truly is trying to bring to us. Now, speaking of 222, Another very interesting thing that we have going on, you guys, if you've been following my work for any period of time, you know that we've been noticing, when there are sequences of two twos playing out in the numerology of a chart on any given day or dates or times or any of that, it has been corresponding to major aspects going on within the astrology that seem to be critical in this transitional process of ages, and this transition into the age of Aquarius that we're moving into right now. And today we have this again, you guys, all over the chart. Now, I know I said that the Mars Saturn conjunction today is happening at 23 degrees of Aquarius, and it is. But because I read the Sabian symbols as an astrologer, I'm always rounding up a degree because we're looking for this in terms of the Sabian symbols at the energy that is incoming instead of the energy that is beginning to sort of wane out and dissipate. But in terms of the exact degree placements, you guys, for the chart today, we have this Saturn Mars conjunction happening at 22 degrees and some minutes of Aquarius. We have the North Node and the South Node moving back to, because the North Node and South Node always move backwards, 22 degrees. And it's actually, I have to say this right now, it's actually 22 minutes on my video right now that I'm looking at on the screen as I'm recording this. I don't know if it will be this at that time when you guys are watching it because I have to cut out some stuff at the beginning. But, yeah, another 22 minutes on the clock right now as I'm talking about these 22 degree placements. I did not plan that. But anyways, the North and the South Node today moving to 22 degrees of Taurus and Scorpio. So I'm reading 23 degrees. I'll talk about the Sabian symbols that is today too, because we haven't talked about them yet. But I find that to be very interesting. And also, so the main planets in aspect with each other today, the Mars, Saturn, and then the North and the South Node, 22 degrees of their signs. All of them. Of course, we're rounding up to 23 to read the Sabian symbols, but from face value of the chart, 22 degrees. And we also have Jupiter, 22 degrees of Pisces. Plus the moon will be lining up at 22 degrees of Taurus today for this exact square. So that is putting 6 planets today at 22 degrees. And 222, we are in this 222 year, which breaks down to a 6. 6 is, widely referenced as a number of love and of connection and of like fulfillment and stuff like that, especially in regards to the tarot and numerology. And we have 6 planets discharging 22 degrees of their signs today, and 5 of those planets are directly involved in this big square. So the number 5 to me, this is talking about 5 is a number of dynamic change. We have Mars and Saturn together, some type of big change that this is boiling into in an exact square to the North and the South nodes with the moon there as well. And the number 5, you guys, this is we are in the process of some type of dynamic change that is building right now. And it is directly related to what we need to release, what we need to move on from, what we need to let go of in order to move in this new direction, which is happening in the sign of Aquarius. We're in this Aries cycle, Mars, ruler of Aries, in the sign of Aquarius right now, heading into the age of Aquarius for this brand new astrological lunar year that just began on Friday. This is what we are kicking it off with, and it's talking about the sign of Aquarius. It is talking about whatever is happening right now is pushing us towards a phase of growth that is going to help align us with that Aquarian nature that we all hold inside of us, regardless of our sign placement, that we need to cultivate, develop right now in order to really come into our true potential and our highest version of ourselves and everything that this age of Aquarius is calling us to embody and to become at this point in time, a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. We are coming through this transformative process, and a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis, again, that is literally, if I think about it like that, a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis is a perfect example of Mars and Saturn in a conjunction in Aquarius, an air sign. The butterfly is emerging from the chrysalis. The butterfly wants to act. It wants to transform. It wants to come out into this new reality, this new paradigm where it will literally live in the air. But it has to go through this incredibly difficult challenge of breaking through this chrysalis and getting its wings. Like it can't just take off and take flight and like burst out of that chrysalis and like soar through the air. It's a very slow, gradual process, and it's it has to wait for its like wings to unfold and to take shape and to take form, and it's facing this resistance and this difficulty and like this pressure and this limitation to its ability to express and to act and to soar, you know, like that degree, a butterfly emerging from chrysalis, that really sort of is a very, very good metaphor for how this Saturn Mars in Aquarius square the nodes with the moon there could be operating today, you guys. We could be feeling, you know, lots of irritation today, lots of frustration. Don't take risks or launch any new activities right now. This is not the time. It's, you know, it's unfortunate actually, because this placement, the sun in Aries and the moon in Taurus, when we have this placement every year, this is actually, the sun is exalted in Aries, the moon is exalted in Taurus. This is actually one of the best times to begin something, to really get something going that can unfold with success throughout the course of the year. But with Mars, ruler of Aries, in the conjunction to Saturn, you know, it is bringing down this energy a little bit. This is still a good time, you know, to be making solid plans, to be really thinking things through, to be putting a lot of hard work into what we want to create going forward. But this is not the time to be launching something new right now unless you have spent a great deal of time learning, studying, preparing, strategizing, and really getting your ducks all in a row, and you feel very solid and very secure in all the aspects of what you are presenting right now. Then in that case, you know, Saturn may be supporting your process. But if it is not like in a state of essential perfection in where you're at and where you're trying to go right now, like that is sort of what, you know, we need to sort of hold back on our actions at this point in time and just really be putting the work in sort of behind the scenes of things. Focusing on routine activities that require a well-established pattern. This is, again, another way to use this energy today that can be more beneficial. Again, anger without an ability to express it. Find work to do, and this is great for creating works of great works, masterpieces, and channeling the rage or whatever, you know, might be coming up into work. But frustrations, irritations, if you're feeling that today, you guys, you are right on track, because that is just the general vibes that we have going on in the energy. Now, I want to talk about a couple other things. We have the sun today, 15 degrees of Aries. That Sabian symbol is an Indian weaving a blanket. So despite how it feels, despite the challenges that we may be experiencing and truly being able to spread our wings and fly right now, even though we may really, really want to be doing that, things really are coming together. We have 5 222s across the board today. Actually, we have 6 of them, and 5 of them are directly involved in these fated alignments. We're dealing with Saturn, karma. We're dealing with the South Node, karma. We're dealing with the North Node and the Moon together, destiny, the path ahead, where we're being guided, pulled on like an intuitive internal level. And we have the Earth today, you guys, 15 degrees of Libra, circular paths. So, you know, we could think of this a couple of different ways. Yeah, it could be sort of like a merry-go-round. We could feel like we're just on like a perpetual motion wheel and like nothing's changing and nothing's happening, and like it's just going on and on, like running on a hamster wheel. But also circular wheels, this could also be talking about the spiral of creation. Spirals are also circular wheels, and those are always constantly evolving. So it's sort of our choice right now, you know, like, are we going to stay on the same rung of the wheel where we are just going around and around in circular paths? Or are we going to take these circular paths and allow them to elevate us based on what we're learning and the challenges that we're facing and what we're overcoming and what we're persevering through, and how we are maintaining our will and our passion and the fire inside of us in the face of anything that is trying to hold it back, restrict it, you know, put extinguisher on it. We are not to back down in this energy, but we are also not to rush ahead impulsively. We are to withdraw, to strategize, to work hard, to really get ourselves together, to plan our next moves, and to understand and to persevere and to endure these challenges without losing the faith, without losing the hope. You guys, Jupiter is now also at that 22 degree something minutes today, in only 1 degree off from Neptune in the sign of Pisces. 23 degrees of Pisces is the Sabian symbol that I'm reading for today. A materializing medium giving a seance. Like, guidance, advice is at the tips of our fingers. We have Neptune is at 24 Pisces right now, an inhabited island. universe is trying to show us and guide us to realize that we truly have everything that we need inside of us right now to persevere, to, like, rise to the occasion, to obtain victory over the challenges set before us in a long-term way. This is not like short-term victory we're after. This is Saturn. This is, sustaining the test of time. If you guys watched my new moon video, I was talking about how we're truly in like legacy building energy right now. And the things that universe is trying to help us create it wants to endure and to sustain like far into the future based in these authentic truths that are the groundwork, the pavement of this new paradigm that we are creating collectively as a human species right now who is going through this energetic rebirth. And so we can't, whatever we're facing, whatever we're up against, we have to remember to align with our faith. And there's going to be a lot of truths coming into you guys. Jupiter ruling truth, spiritual truth, conscious truth, a higher perspective, a greater viewpoint in the conjunction exactly to Neptune in the sign of Pisces. This is like paradigm shifting realizations and understandings and spiritual awakenings, conscious awakenings, secrets revealed, things that have been hidden, things that have been under the surface, that have been murky or an illusion or like deceptive or confusing, are going to get the light of the most supreme truth shown on them this year and in these upcoming months. So whatever we're facing today, you guys, whatever we're dealing with, whatever we're up against, it really is just a cosmic test, testing our faith, testing our patience, testing our resolve, testing our dedication, testing our passion, testing our commitment to this new version of ourselves that we're becoming now, and that universe wants to make strong and steady enough to be able to carry us through and to serve the test of time. So very interesting, you guys. We also, as I said, I wanted to mention, we had the north and the south nodes of the moon recently changed position just so that they can line up exactly with this Mars-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, 23 degrees of Taurus, where the North Node is moving today. The moon is also aligning, a jewelry shop filled with valuable gems. You guys, this energy is pushing us. It's like pressure makes diamonds. This energy is pushing us to become the best, most resilient version of ourselves that we can be, so that when we move forward, when we can act, when we can spread our wings, when we can fly, when we can move forward, we are able to do so in a way that really represents some type of true, long-lasting, enduring value. Also, we're talking about the sign of Taurus, ruled by Venus, ruling value. It is also trying to show us the value that we hold inside of us and reignite our own sense of self-worth and self-love, so that in this 222 year, again, with all of these 2-2s in play today, we can bring our vibration to a level where we can attract the blessings, the abundance, the connection, the opportunities, the miracles that universe is trying to bring to us in this energy at this point in time, in this transition of age process, so that we can unlock our potential and move forward and really begin to activate our own Aquarian like cell that we have within us. The south node of the moon at 23 degrees of Scorpio, that Sabian symbol is a bunny metamorphosized into a fairy. So on the other side of things, this is also talking about this transformation, this metamorphosis, taking like our lower selves, like our more instinct-based selves, and going through this metamorphosis, going through this transformation, going through this, again, the butterfly, the position of Venus today, into a much more empowered, liberated version of ourselves that really is sort of working with the magic of this reality in conjunction with God and universe to be able to come into our highest potential. And that is what the blueprint is pulling us towards right now, you guys. Everything about this energy, everything about this year wants us to align with our highest and our best, with our highest potential, with the purpose that we came into this life with, to really figure it out, find our authentic truth, find our gifts, find our talents, find our potential, cut ourselves free from anything that has kept us afraid of stepping into them, and really find the power and the value that they represent and tap them as resources that we can use to actually provide something for ourselves and the greater good of humanity moving forward, moving into this new energy where, again, as I've said and as I've been saying, our external reality, our external structures, the external matrix that has been very supportive to a lot of us for a very long time, maybe in a process of sort of breaking down a little bit this year in, some ways. And it just behooves all of us to sort of get a grip on how we can be more self-reliant, how we can be more resourceful, how we can just be more like self-sustaining in various ways. And a lot of that comes down to tapping and realizing our own value, our own potential, our own gifts, our own talents, what we can serve, contribute to the greater good, so that we can receive a reflection of that helps to alleviate some pressure, Saturn, from us in some type of a way as we are going through this transformative process. So I actually really like the position of the North and the South nodes right now in the context of this energy today. Again, it really is talking about, dynamic change all over the energy. We have and also, we have two twos, the 22 and something minutes today, but I'm reading 23, for the Sabians. And 23, this also breaks down to a 5. We got 5 planets involved in this T-square going on today. Mars, Saturn, the moon, the North and the South nodes of the moon. Well, they're not planets, but they're very specific points. And with this T-square setting up today, the moon being there, Mars and Saturn being together, also the 2 twos that are being, the 5 sets of 2 twos that are being indicated today, plus Jupiter at that 22 as well. That makes it 6. We're in a 6 year. It's energy today is definitely breaking us through into situations that we need to encounter, experience to obtain a level of growth that can put us on this path, help us move us away from the past and move us towards these blessings, abundance, this 222 energy, this tapping of potential, this inner value, this self-love, these divine connections coming in, this increased connection to spirit and to our higher self and to the divine that is also coming in. All of that being represented to me today by the numerology, by the planet placement, and whatever we're facing ultimately is for our own growth, our own refinement, our own maturation process, so that we can actually open ourselves to receive more based on a greater understanding and relationship to our own self-value, our own potential, what we can truly create and move forward into, and what we have the strength and the willpower to overcome and persevere through. Even if that means stepping back, holding back, and not rushing forward at this point in time, but developing a better strategy, a more refined strategy for taking action when this aspect moves apart and we are more guided in that direction. So that's really what I have to say today, you guys, for the astrology. Let's talk about the tarot for a minute. Ooh, boy, I'm very much looking forward to talking about this message. When it came out today, I was just like, oh, wow. Okay. So let's talk about this. Now, this is just going to be a quick little tarot reading because it is very clear and to the point, but we got 3 cards coming out today. And then the card that we had on the back of the deck, the first card that we had coming out is the 8 of Wands. This is forward movement towards something and also through the air, through the airwaves, communication coming, something. Okay. The next card that we had come out was the sun, the light being shown on something, some type of communication traveling through the airwaves, traveling quickly, coming quickly, that is shining light on something. What is it shining light on, you guys? We got the 7 of Swords. Betrayal, secrets, stealing power, corruption, abuses of power. This is the card of being very sneaky and deceptive and just dishonest, not honest. So what this is telling me, you guys, this week, I don't know, personally on a world stage, and then on the back of the deck, we got the Justice card, you guys. Justice is being served this week somehow through some information that is coming quickly, that is shining a light on some shady business that has been going on. And the outcome of that is going to be some type of justice. So, I mean, this message is extremely clear. Either some news, some communication, something, some type of communication, some type of forward movement, something coming through the airwaves, or some type of communication, information, something coming that is shining the light on things that have been deceptive, that have been corrupted, that have been super shady, where there has been some just like underhanded stuff going on. The light of the sun is rapidly exposing it, and it is bringing some type of justice, rebalancing things, and restoring the peace somehow. So find that to be very, very interesting in the context of the energetics that we have going on this week, and especially, of course, Jupiter moving 1 degree closer into conjunction with Neptune. Now they are only 1 degree off from each other, and that is a very close conjunction. We are getting, we are very much approaching when this is going to be exact. So something, you guys, those cards right there, for them to come out like that, that is definitely talking about something that has been deceptive, or a lie, or something being exposed somehow in the light that restores balance, restores justice, restores peace. So we'll see what unfolds this week with this Mars Saturn square the nodes, because that is trying to also, oh God, bring some type of big time change that enables us to move forward in one way or another, but it is definitely testing our will, our resolve, our dedication, our commitment, our patience, our self-control. Good Lord. Okay, and it's actually funny too, because when I went to pick up these synchronicity cards, I actually like knocked half of my tarot cards onto the floor, but there's one card that is staring at me right now. The card that was left on the deck after I knocked all those onto the floor is the Six of Wands. Victory. I know it. There's been so many synchronicities going on in this report today, from the 2-2 when I was talking about the 2-2s. This is on point. Okay, but yeah, some type of victory is going on. Let's grab a synchronicity card now. I've been shuffling and like talking. These cards are amazing. They're by Janice Shellman. They're just additional pieces of guidance from God that can help us navigate this energy that we have going on right now. And yeah, we got the card. Here's the card we got for it today. What the card we got today. Actually, here's another card. We got, oh, there's actually another card. I'm sorry, you guys. We got 3 synchronicity cards. I'm sorry this video is turning out so long. I didn't intend it to be that way. But we got persist, honesty pays, and don't overdo. So I'm just going to read them all really quickly. Persist. Because of his persistence, act and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. Luke 11:8-9. And that's what I've been saying. This is all about persisting. This is all about overcoming and persevering in this energy. Nothing is too large or too small, and your persistence in believing in God's ability to provide whatever it is you seek will bring you to your goal. Persistence, waiting, patience, and never failing faith will lead you to your goal. And honestly, like, this is an exact summary of what I've been trying to say in terms of how we navigate this energy today. We also got don't overdo. Do not worry about what you shall eat. Luke 12:27. It says, if you have a problem with appetite, be it food or any other thing, be not concerned. Thank God for removing the desire to overdo in the consumption of food or any other appetite. I feel like, again, this is telling us to sort of hold back, you know, don't just go balls to the walls in this energy. We sort of need to refine, you know, regulate, self-discipline in this energy as well. And then we got honesty pays, which again, in the context of all this karma that we have coming through, and the fact that we got the 7 of Swords as to what this information, this 8 of Wands, this communication or whatever coming quickly, shining the light on, definitely saying that deception is not the energy that we want to be operating in right now, because something about this week, well, we know what it is. It's Jupiter and Neptune together and some various other things going on. But there's energy this week that is working to expose deception. So honesty pays. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. Eight of Wands, man, Eight of Wands, Sun, Seven of Swords, Justice on the back. That is what this says. Let all you do be done with love, honesty, and integrity. Don't do anything you know to be wrong. If you hurt another, you are only hurting yourself. Honesty is the best policy. So there it is, you guys. That is what we have in terms of our energy today that is coming through. Our messages from the stars, messages from the cards, message from the synchronicity cards. There were a lot of them today, but we are navigating some really intense energy. So that's what we got. I guess I don't really have much more to say. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm seriously so grateful for each and every one of you. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an Instagram, and a TikTok and website in my description box below. Come back with me tomorrow, you guys. It's going to be day 2. Of course, this is a 2-day transit. Mars takes 2 days to transit a degree. So getting in alignment with the 2 2s that have been represented in the placement of planets today, tomorrow will be day 2 of this Mars-Saturn alignment that we have going on, although the moon will have moved out of Taurus. So there may actually be a bit of... it may be a bit more of a gentler day tomorrow than what we have going on today to some extent, just because the moon is not in that square, but there will still be that big T square maintaining, and we will still have a lot to talk about. So come back with me tomorrow, you guys. Wishing you a beautiful day. If you are struggling today, you know, remember, channel some of that into working on something that can benefit you guys in some type of a way, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.